Here we are, end of February. Just show you how the plot is going. I've started prettying up with a few primulas. Look in me tubs, and the bulbs that I put in them troughs that are showing. I've got a couple of crocus. I think they're tulips and bluebells or whatever. And my little raised bed, when I repaired my shed, I put a little raised bed across the front there. I intend to put sweet peas in there, but look, the bluebells are all showing, and whatever the bulbs were that I've managed to scrounge, they're all showing as well. Okay, so let's go round the plot then. Start with me raised bed, raised cold frame that is. I've put some black sheeting around the outside to help to warm it all up. Got gooseberry bush in a tub there. I changed the soil in that in the hope that those things and whatever eat the leaves I've got shot off. Right, in the frame I sowed last month, I sowed some parsnips, and as you can see they're coming up. I sowed some carrots and they're also coming up. And I sowed some leeks and they're coming up. So it's been very mild, and when that lid is closed it gets really warm. Then yesterday I put in just a row of beetroot. That's only so I'll get half a dozen really early ones. And then I've got some peas there in guttering, and they will. I've got more peas in the greenhouse, and then I've got some sweet peas. The other ones I intend to grow up the front of the shed if all goes well. Right, we will now move on then to the greenhouse. I'll give you a quick general view of what we got going. I've got some raised beds which I'm trying after seeing Ian's raised bed allotment. I'm going to give it a go as well, and I think I've backed a winner this year because the winter has been so wet. Water butt all nicely filled, ready to go, and that butt there I've got horse manure in there, and yesterday I put in there some nettles to make like a soup, a nitrogenous soup. I nearly couldn't say that. Right, into the greenhouse. There's me peas. They're just beginning to show. There's just one there, look. And then come on round. I've done some various sowings of different things. I've got some peppers in there, and some lettuce, which when they come up thick of course, and then I will thin them out. My strawberries are just beginning to show in that container, show green that is. The potatoes are still going well. In fact, they've grown so tall now that they've flopped over, but the reason for that is I wanted to bring some on early to give me some really super early new potatoes. Come on round, we've got a tub there, the same. The parsnips that I'll put in, I don't know now, a long time ago, they're showing new growth on their leaves, and the carrots that something was eating, they stopped eating because I put grit around the carrots, and they're putting on a bit more leaf. So I might see how big they are and pull some really super early ones. Oh, there we go, that's the greenhouse for now. I forgot my Cape gooseberry, which is grown on the other side. I'm picking them. They're really nice. I love them, and I'll just take hold of one like so, and if it comes off easily, which that one did, and peel him back, there you go, he's right. I'm going to chomp that one right now. Quite nice. Okay, onwards we go then. This raised bed, I've had that covered. I had carrots in there. I'm going to leave it open. We've got a few frosts still, just to sterilise it with a bit of frost. The lettuce are almost complete. They're struggling now, but they might put a bit of leaf on the other end. They might just go to seed. That's going to be carrots, that is. As you can see, I'll put a bit more grit on that so that it can wash in to make it carrot friendly. Coming along to the loganberries, you can see they're just putting on some leaf. They're just little buds there, look. I've got to sort the frame out on it, and the blackberries, the black currants, they're just beginning to show little buds as well. It's been very mild, but in fact, there we go, there's one there. It's actually a loganberry that actually got leaves on it, look. So move on round without making you too dizzy. There we go, strawberries, they're putting new leaf on. You might remember that these were last year's, and I've taken away most of the runners, thinned them out, and I will rake down through the middle of the rows and bank them up a little bit. Then we've got, without making you too dizzy, we've got this patch which is being covered to keep it dry really and stop the nutrients running out. That's going to be peas. Garlics are doing good, and beyond the garlics they are the broad beans, and the only one surviving broad bean from my winter sowing is that one there, which has got flowers on. The rest of them have really suffered, but the later sowings are doing quite well by the look of it, so hopefully we'll do good there. Then my shallots, I had my earlier sowing of shallots, they're all looking good, and then at the far end there is peas. They were late sowing peas, they fared better than the late sowing last year broad beans. The peas have got flowers on, and then I've got there've been various sowings there, so you know, when I say various sowings I mean from you know, sort of fortnightly apart. And then rain to the grapevines. Now I know, I think I know what I'm doing with them. I've pruned those. I think it's called the double Goya system, whereby you have just two of last year's branches with buds on. Right, rain the roots of the grapevines. I put last October, I put horse manure or stable manure, and I've rotivated that in. I rotivated that in there yesterday, so that the rain can wash the goodness on through and inspire early growth. Then we've got I've built myself another strawberry tub, and as you can see I've got a watering tube down through the middle, and then I've got 1-inch holes with strawberries in. There's a different variety. I've prepared for the potatoes. There's no potatoes in it at the moment, but that's full of compost. Then we come round to the asparagus, nothing showing yet. Oh, right at the far end there I've got 2 blueberry bushes, and I've got them in their own little bed because I'm going to try and keep the soil acid for the blueberries, and they've got little tiny buds on already. It's good. And then once again I've got a watering tube down there as well, down to the roots. I'm backing on us having a really hot dry summer there, so there we go with the asparagus. And then right down here in a pot I've got some mint. I've done that because I don't want the roots going any further than need be. Then moving along, then we've got those 2 self-sown. It's turning out they're broccoli, a green broccoli. I think it's called Calabrese. I'm not too sure anyway, but there you go. Then we've got a really nice parsley here. Something's been eating the leaves of that, but it's left me enough, so I'm happy with that. I don't like using pellets and all that sort of gubbins. I try and keep everything as organic as I can, but sometimes it gets a bit of a struggle. Then I've rotivated this area in preparation for another full row of peas, and then later for spinach, parsnips and leeks. And I've sown a row of parsnips already, and I've mixed grit in the soil to make it just slightly less nutrigenous. God, do I get difficulty with these words? So in the hope that the parsnips will make nice long tapered roots. which they've done. Then generally speaking, the ground is still rough. There's still that land crest there that's got a bit tough now. Makes good soup because it gives it a bit of bite, but generally speaking, the land is, the rest of it is now just roughly turned over, waiting for it to dry it enough for me to rotivate it, and then I'll rotivate it this way, which I fill that trench I've got through here and keeps the soil level. Sprouts, they're almost finished. There's a couple of pickings still there, but basically they're done now. Then we come along, we've got a peach tree there which I put in last year. Apple tree's not showing buds yet. Then my cauliflowers there, they're looking good. I cheated and I transplanted a couple into those 2 raised beds, but those raised beds are going to go because this is going to be the potato area. And then the last couple of grapevines there, they're the ones that catch the sun. The pond, there's no frog spawn just yet, so I've just seen a little bubble come up. I think that's a sneaky newt, and I've got a feeling last year the newts ate all the frog spawn because there just wasn't any. So we'll see. And then along the back there, I've got some bins that have got potatoes in. In fact, we're just home in there. Look at that. There's a bucket there with potatoes growing. This is a mild our winter has been, and then in that bin, covered in glass of course, is a couple of potatoes growing. And then right over the far side there's one there that's come up and it's grown through that glass that's over the top, and it's grown through the broken pane. Let's hope the frost don't do it in. I might try and rig something up if it looks like we're going to have a severe frost, and I'll look and I'll cover it up. So go rain, there's the whole thing, and hopefully next month. And look at that, the sun's come out to say hello, here's spring, even though they have forecast snow for tomorrow. Well, we'll hope it don't happen. Not now anyway. So there you go. I'll see you at the end of March. Bye.